It's the Heat, SiriusXM. You're in Mina's house. I'm Mina SayWhat. I'm very excited. I got my Taurus sister zooming live with us here, Kehlani.
Hi.
Hey, Kay, congratulations on the album.
Thank you.
You look pretty. Look at you.
Thank you. I'm fresh out the shower wearing nothing on my face, so
I
thank you. I
see.
appreciate that.
Girl, you're a part of Taurus gang. I'm a Taurus as well. So I know you just celebrated your birthday. How was like your quarantine birthday?
It was honestly the same. I don't I don't really do a lot for my birthday in general, so just the fact that like I had my household around me that I'm with every day. They made me some drinks, they made me some food, and it was super super sweet. So
Yeah, I kind of did the same thing. I like had a Zoom party and I thought that was kind of cool. It was something I've never done. So,
we good for something comfortable. So
right, exactly. So, congratulations, girl, your sophomore album, which I was talking to Chelsea, who works at the label. I don't feel like this is your sophomore album because you have so much music and mixtapes out there. But congratulations, it's out right now. It was good until it wasn't. Congratulations, babe.
thank you.
It's your first number one on iTunes. How are you feeling?
I feel crazy. It's very crazy. It's very crazy for me and everyone involved, everybody that took time to work on it with me. It feels like a big family win. It feels like a big win for my friend who passed away, who's on the outro. It's just been a very big, like, emotional thing for all of us.
I saw that song was trending when the album dropped, the outro, the Lexi outro, was that like a moment where you felt happy for something that was sad?
Yeah, I mean, it was more like triumphant than anything. It was more just like what we all feel like she deserved. Like she deserved to be heard more. She deserved to be heard by a large audience. She deserved to have a number one album. So at least her being able to be on a number one album is a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really your time right now, girl. Like this album is so personal, it's emotional, it's relatable. I found myself really identifying with some of the songs and some of the themes is stuff that I'm going through in my personal life. How much would you say is based on what you're going through personally, the album? Like what percentage?
100%.
Mm.
It's always that for me. I think music has become such a like it's a naturally therapeutic thing for me. So I've been lucky to have a career in which something that's therapeutic for me and what I do when I'm going through something became the thing that also is my financial, career type of situation. It's just so I don't ever find myself having to kind of like create narratives that don't happen because my life is crazy enough so I can just write about my life and be fine.
Right, right. I find the cover and back art really interesting. So when you look at the cover art, it's pretty. We see the back of you. Your booty looks great, girl. Your booty's banging on the cover art, right? But then when you look at the back art, you see what's behind you. And
Yeah.
it's like everything is exploding, mass destruction. Is
Right.
that what's happening in your life right now?
No, I kind of felt like that was kind of like what the destructive relationship. That's like the metaphor for the relationship of just like I'm I'm watering. I have the hose in my hand. I'm trying to put out kind of like all the craziness that's going on behind me. It's obviously not big enough to handle the craziness that's behind me, and it's kind of symbolic to like past and like what I'm looking towards. But it was that in between. It's like that in between of like how do I move forward? Is it easy to move forward? Is it too hard to move forward? But also it's crazy behind me. And also it tells this tele perspective of like relationships. You can be in a good and a bad relationship at the same time. Like you can be I found myself in a lot of the songs, explaining like things could be toxic or it could have been a bad situation, but I was blissful in it. I was enjoying myself. Like I didn't notice a lot of it. I didn't notice how bad it was. So it's kind of just telling this tale of perspective and also just like past and future.
I mean, I think as Tauruses, we want to believe that people are pure and we want to believe the good in people
Yeah.
sometimes, regardless of like what they're showing us.
I think one thing we also have an issue with besides that too is like it takes a lot for us to finally really open up because I feel like we kind of keep this like cool open with like majority of people. It's like just enough. But when we really open up and we've built and we've spent time with people thinking of like letting all that go and having to like do that again just seems like so much. I'm like, what I just would personally would rather just continuously build with this one person, and like we hit crossroads and like we figure it out. But it comes to a certain point where we have to acknowledge that that's just not healthy.
Exactly. I thought like the cover and back art was a metaphor for more like things aren't always what they seem.
No, that as well. I mean,
Yes.
that's also, it's when you look at all these references, they still apply to the same toxic relationship. They still apply to like how everybody thought certain things looked really perfect, and then all of a sudden I dropped a song and everybody was like, oh shit, that's not what was going on. Like it just got crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like all those apply to the same scenario. And that's why when people have, came to me with like interpretations of the album art, it all fits.
Right. Kehlani is with us here in Mina's house on the Heat, SiriusXM. I'm Mina SayWhat. We're talking about this amazing album. I mean, I've listened to it already like 4 times. No lie. I already have my personal favorites, and it's Kehlani's first number 1 on iTunes. So a lot of emotions. I think that's why I'm drawn to this album. There's love, there's lust, there's grief, there's hope, there's anger. What was the most difficult track for you to make?
I mean, just putting together Lexi's outro. I didn't make that song, but we had to sit through and listen to a couple of different verse options of like, I just basically asked her engineer, like, I want you to give me a couple options in which, she just sounds really triumphant. I just want a really triumphant verse. That was the word that I kept saying. They gave me a couple, and we took that song and I deconstructed the beat with the engineer and just took a bunch of sounds out and placed them in different places. And I just wanted her to sound like she had this like spotlight on her. So that's why it comes in like that, and like the beat slowly builds, because I just wanted it to sound like this big cinematic type of thing. But having to play it over and over and over again, just like it was haunting, it was chilling, and then it was just like it was kind of sad. But then after we finished it, it was like something to be super proud of for her. So
Yeah, like you did her justice almost.
yeah.
What happened to her? I'm not familiar.
She passed away on January 1st. There was a drug-related incident. It was
I'm
very
sorry.
unfortunate. Just prayers and love to her family. I mean, thank you. I appreciate that. But I'm trying to send all, love to people that were with her every single day. So we just
Yeah.
send those prayers.
The Hot Girl skit. So you were the co-captain of Hot Girl Summer Girl. We seen it. um, was that when the skit happened, when you and Megan were like, having a great old time this summer?
Nah, I was in the studio and we finished Water, and I was like, I want one more skit on this album because we already had the Belong to the Street skit. And I was like, not for nothing, Water is so playful. It'd be fun to have at least a playful skit, because the Belong to the Street skit was so serious. So I was like, who better to give me like a flex about my pussy, like
Right.
Megan? Like that's what she does in her raps. Like,
Yeah.
so it was perfect. I just hit her up, and she nailed it instantly. So
Can you talk about Water?
the song Water, yeah, it's fun. I did it with some of my closest friends, me, Ombre and Destin Conrad, 2 really amazing artists who also songwrite, who I also have been really close friends with for the past like 6-7 years.
Were they the 2 when you were playing your album when it dropped? It was them 2?
On my live, drunk as hell.
Yes.
Ombre was like, "You better speak up for my friend." Yeah.
and then I think one of them was like, "You better not try it." I was like, "Ooh."
Yeah, the tequila and the excitement. Everybody was just in a bag last night for sure. But we was in the studio. We just was like being really playful, and they played kind of an idea that they started, and I was like, I definitely want to finish this. And so we just like banded together and finished it like a weird little transformer almost. And it just became really fun, like going and thinking of each line and like thinking of how wild we could get was definitely like it was like a fun nasty science project.
Yeah. A lot of the songs, we kind of know who you're talking about. Has the person reached out to you and said, yo, why you wrote this song about me? Or is there any kind of playful conversation at this point?
No, I made most of the music we were together. So he actually has most of like the first versions of these songs in his phone. Like And then I'm very particular because I have been in experiences where I dated people and they dropped songs about me without warning, and I experienced it on social media one day and hated it. So I've always been in the habit of like either letting someone know that something's coming or sending them the music if it's about them. Just like, hey, by the way, like
Right. Did you do that for Valentine's Day?
I was about to say, except Valentine's Day. Nope, that was a drop on the head. Or you know what's up. Either one. Those were like surprise drops, but those are more for me. I just had to get something off my chest.
Right, because I noticed they're not on the album. So were these songs always never meant to make the album?
Yeah, I mean, they were never like if I hadn't went through those experiences and needed to get something off my chest, like they wouldn't even exist. Like they were never in any plan to be a part of this. I might put it in the like the deluxe maybe potentially. I think that could make sense, but I just think that they were for a moment in time and they serve their purpose, I guess. So
Yeah. So All Me didn't make the album. I really like the song, but I've been reading a lot, online about it. What's the backstory with that not coming to fruition?
well, it's supposed to be on a collab project I did with artists from where I grew up, really close friends. The project ended up falling through on some like different business decisions being made. But I had already put up a snippet on the internet while the project was still coming out. So the fans went super crazy about it. You know, it had been a couple months, it died down. A fan brought it back up and then it went viral again. And then I quoted the tweet and was like, oh, y'all want this? And then they made that viral again. So it was this big viral thing, which is funny because it didn't end up going like, it didn't end up like doing a big splash, like number wise or anything. So I'm at this point, I'm just like, the song is cursed, man. Like, anybody that came in contact with the song, it's just been like an unpleasant situation. But it's a great song. I'm still proud to have a song with someone that I grew up listening to, you know, no matter whatever this scenario is at this point. I'm still honored
Yeah.
because little me would be super geeked up, so therefore adult me is geeked up. And it just didn't fit the project. So
Yeah. Well, maybe when all the BS dies down, maybe you all can resolve this. And
yeah,
then,
that's where my hope is. So
right. I want to play my favorite song on the album. We're going to play it and then we're going to come back and talk to you about it. Change Your Life, girl. The song has changed my life.
I love
So I've been playing it over and over again. As we talked about earlier, I really identify with a lot of the messages in your music because I was going through a similar situation with someone where it was like I was trying to make it and I was, with this person and we were going back and forth. Change Your Life, I'm really drawn to. Can you talk about how you put that song together and then how did Jhene come into the fold?
Well, yeah, the song is pretty old. Like even when we put the All Me video out, I put half of the Change Your Life video that I
Right,
had
I saw that.
in the end of the All Me video as kind of like a teaser. In the last like couple weeks, me and Jhene have just been talking on some like homie like life shit. And then she was like, you know, let me know if there's room for anything on your album. I'd love to like do something. And I was like, absolutely. I actually could think of something right now that like you would be perfect for, and also would give like a new life to the song because people were already asking for it and people were already excited about it from like the teaser and the video, and she just skated on it. So it was perfect.
She's in rare form right now. I mean, her album,
So
and then
good.
she has a song with Dream on
Hmm.
his album that is good. Girl, I love it.
Yeah, it's really good.
I wanted to ask you, do you think you can change someone's life? Like, can you change someone's situation, a man or a woman? Can you change them?
I think that there's certain things that are teachable, and certain things that are you can assist somebody in growing. But you know, that's harder to sing. So it's easier to say let me change your life than it is to say let me assist your growth by changing your life. You know, but I think as far as like real detrimental change, that's like up to the person, and you don't even necessarily want to be the person that changes someone. You want to just be able, it's like they want to be proud of that, or you should want them to be proud of that. So I would hope somebody is changes themselves, is very proud of themselves for that, and then at least looks back and says, well, I know that, you know, maybe Kehlani assisted me in doing so, or maybe like there was some inspiration or some support there while I was changing my own life. And I think that's all we could do for folks.
And they got to want to change.
Right.
Like, if they're stuck in their ways, there's nothing that is happening, you know? F and makeup, girl, your little quarantine video,
Hey,
you sucking on this banana. I'm like, what is happening right now?
it was all super symbolism. For, like, the whole video is basically like two people having like flashbacks about each other and they can't see each other.
Oh,
So it's like I'm in everywhere. He's thinking about me. I'm in the same place in my house, having the same like experience, kind of. So the banana was just kind of like a funny like nod to like another sexual, like obviously like a sexual.
right.
So
I was like, let me find out, Kay. You getting all sexy too? I see you with the dance moves. I'm like, okay.
I'm growing up out here.
So you directed this. You've actually been doing a couple of quarantine videos. How many have you made at this point?
The one that we're about to drop in 9 minutes. We was the last one that we made. We're dropping as we go, so we're gonna shoot as many as possible because we're doing them ourselves.
Wow. So you're shooting it on like what, a camera or iPhone? How are you doing that?
On a camera with my
Like a
photographer,
Canon? Okay.
who's right over there looking out the window like an R&B singer, but he is the best. And we have kind of like navigated and learned how to do this whole thing just by ourselves, playing with everything and throwing things at the wall and seeing if they stick.
So you had some year, girl. New mommy, very public relationship, breakup, release of the album. You know, how are you balancing everything right now that you're in quarantine?
I'm just trying to stay grounded and trying to devote my time to, I think one thing about quarantine is it's giving us all the time that we've all said, if we had this time, we would do this with it. So now it's really about being on top of that with ourselves, creating good habits and having good time management. So it's really
Yeah.
about for me.
How about being a mom during this time? I mean, is that I mean, your child's only one, but is that affecting mommy time at all?
No, it's actually making mommy time just stronger because we're together all day and now she's seeing me work in the garage versus like having to come to get in the car and go to a studio and running around a studio, which probably isn't as fun as running around her house where she has toys.
You're right.
So I like it.
So I was really excited about this tour with Justin Bieber. Now I know we don't know what's happening with the tour, but can we just talk about how that even happened?
Yeah, I mean, he asked me to be on his album, and then through the collaboration, he was like, "This just makes sense. Like, you should come on tour." And he knew I was dropping an album, and I was going to be gearing up to have new music to perform, and it's going to be a really, really cool, big deal. But I think right now we're all just really concerned about safety and making sure that our fans, make it through this pandemic, like accordingly, before we even think about that again. So I think we're all just in a headspace of being grateful for good health.
Right, I agree. I was really excited about it because I saw you on tour with LMA, and I really love that. I love how you talk to your fans. You know, it was a very intimate experience. I was really interested to see it on how you would transition into like something that big, like a Justin Bieber-ish, you know?
I mean, the last tour I did was Demi Lovato and DJ Khaled, and those were I don't know what's bigger, stadium or arena, but whatever.
Arenas are bigger.
Okay, so yeah, we did the stadiums. So
Yeah.
that was kind of like my first interaction with that experience, and I did that with no dancers, just me and like 3 musicians. So it was pretty dope.
All right. Well, listen, congratulations, girl. Anything else you want to add? Like, what's next?
Just keep rolling out these videos and keep putting out music and keep doing it the same consistent way I've been. I think that's where I've been able to connect with my fans the most is just remaining consistent.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, stream the album. Thank you, Kehlani, so much for your
Yeah.
time. It's the Heat, SiriusXM. I'm Mina SayWhat. Thank you for listening to Mina's House.